This is Valley Public Radio. I'm David Alse. Welcome to Young Artist Spotlight. In this program, we'll feature our sisters from Bakersfield, violist April Park and violinist Claire Park. Support for Young Artist Spotlight comes from the Bonner Family Foundation and from the California Arts Council's Arts and Public Media Grant. Let's meet our performers. We're featuring a pair of string players from Bakersfield today on Young Artist Spotlight, and they happen to be sisters. And I'm talking to Claire Park right now, who plays violin. Hey, Claire, thanks for joining us on Young Artist Spotlight.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Yeah, you've been on Young Artist Spotlight at least a couple of times before in the past, performing live at our studios at the Barman Cheney Performance Center. This year, of course, a little bit different. We're doing it virtually, so we're glad you're able to be on this year in this fashion. So let's start with the basics. How old are you? Where do you go to school? What grade are you in?
I'm Claire Park, and I go to Stockdale High School. I'm 16, and I'm a junior this year.
How long have you been playing violin? How old were you when you started violin?
I was about 10 when I started, so I've been playing for about 6 years now.
All right. And who's your private instructor?
Mrs. Brooks.
All right. So Becky Brooks. Did you start violin with her, or did you have another teacher before that?
I started violin with her.
Okay. Very good. What do you like about playing violin?
I really like how the sound really corresponds to my voice. So like whenever I'm in a good mood, my violin also sounds fun. And when I'm in like a bad mood, sometimes people can tell like what mood I'm in.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. Well, that's the point of music, is to express. And interesting, you talk about kind of voice. You're talking about not just your actual human voice, but also your mood, emotional voice as well. That's really cool. Yeah, I know that's one of the things that made the violin a favored solo instrument, is because of how the bow makes sound and the no frets on the fingerboard. The violin, played well, can really emulate the expressiveness of the human voice. And so you can really make that thing sing. You're playing two pieces for us today. The first one is one of those kind of fast things that really shows off everything you can do, from Wieniawski, this Scherzo Tarantella. What can you tell me about this piece?
It's a really fast song, as you said, and all the techniques are really hard, but I think it's really a fun piece to play because of all of the energy that you can hear from it.
All right. So Wieniawski was not just a composer, but also a teacher and a virtuoso violinist from Poland, regarded as one of the greatest violinists in history. And we'll hear this Scherzo Tarantella, written in 1855 as a feature for piano and violin. Let's listen now as Claire Park performs on Young Artist Spotlight. Boy, Claire, that was really fun. What a challenging work. How long did it have you worked on that piece? How long did it take you to put that together for performance?
I've been working on it for about 3 months.
Okay. What's the most challenging part of it for you?
I think one of the most challenging part was definitely getting all of the notes down and also making sure that they sound correctly, and especially in part of like the tenths and the octaves, I think those were the most challenging.
Those big leaps and all that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. So we turn now to a very, very different kind of piece, and you were talking about emotion. This shows off another side of expression from Fritz Kreisler. This is a wonderful piece, part of a set of 3 short pieces for violin and piano that Fritz Kreisler wrote in 1905. That set is called Alte Wiener Tannweisen, Old Viennese Melodies, and they're usually performed separately. This one is Liebeslied. Tell me about Liebeslied and what it's like to play this piece.
This song combines both love and sorrow, so some of the parts are very bright and happy, while the other parts combine like the sorrowness of love. So I think it has both parts, and the most important part was to combine them and make them both correspond together.
What do you like best about playing this one?
I really like the contrast between the happy part and the sad part. When I play like the happy part, I really like the A and the E string sound, but in the other parts, I like the sourness that you can feel from it.
All right. Well, that's a great statement. So let's hear a different kind of expression on violin from Claire Park, performing music of Fritz Kreisler from 1905, Liebeslied. That was violinist Claire Park performing music of Fritz Kreisler, a very emotive song, Liebeslied. That's from his old Viennese melodies composed in 1905 as a duo for violin and piano. And we'll hear more from Claire in this episode of Young Artist Spotlight. Now we'll bring on another member of the Park family. She plays viola, and she is April Park. April, welcome to Young Artist Spotlight.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right. So you and Claire, like I am, you are twins.
Yes.
Okay. So you're both 16. You're both at Stockdale High School. Now you play viola. And before you played viola, you played violin at a younger age. How old were you when you started playing violin?
I was around 7.
Okay. And then you got serious about strings and you picked up the viola. How did you come to choose the viola?
I mainly chose it first because I didn't want to have competition with Claire, but I eventually fell in love with its rich tone.
Yeah, it's got a really, really wonderful expressive tone all its own, as we'll hear. Yeah, that lower register, it resonates with the body and the listener in a slightly different way. So it's fun to find a different expressive path that way. Now, you don't play just violin and viola. You play another instrument as well, right? What is that instrument?
It's piano. I actually started it way before I started viola.
And do you still play piano now?
Yes, I still play it for fun.
Excellent. That's a great reason to play. So you're going to hear 2 20th century pieces from you. The first one from the English composer William Walton. Tell us what we're going to hear.
The piece is very fast, very energetic, and it was composed in the 1930s or early 1900s and was first ever played by the German composer Hindemith.
Okay, so this is the viola concerto, and we'll hear from you the second movement, right?
Yes.
Okay. How long did it take you to put this piece together for performance?
It took me about 3 months.
Okay. Good amount of work. Very good. Well, let's listen now as violist Claire Park performs music of William Walton from Viola Concerto. We'll hear the second movement on Young Artist Spotlight. That was violist April Park from Bakersfield performing music of William Walton from his viola concerto. We heard the second movement. Boy, that was really exciting. What's the most frightening part of that performance for you?
The most frightening part was missing notes, because the piece is a lot of never-ending perpetual notes, and if you miss a beat, you might never be able to recover.
Because I might throw you off for the whole rest of the thing. Well, that was a terrific performance and really, really great to hear. And from that, we turn to a kind of a fun piece from Arthur Benjamin. What's this piece you're going to play from Benjamin?
The piece is Jamaican Rumba, and it has a simple melody. It's very fun. It's also very cute, and the melody can be heard by both the violist and the piano.
Okay, and this is a real crowd pleaser. Arthur Benjamin, an Australian composer, pianist, conductor, and teacher. And he's best known for this piece, Jamaican Rumba. It's actually part of his composition, Two Jamaican Pieces, short suite that uses melodies from the West Indies. It's in two sections in its original form, Jamaican Song and Jamaican Rumba, but the rumba is the one that has kind of really hung in there. Let's listen now as April Park performs music of Arthur Benjamin, Jamaican Rumba. That was April Park on viola. She's from Bakersfield, performing music of Arthur Benjamin, the fun and rousing Jamaican rumba. April, that was super fun. Really fun to hear that. Thanks so much for sharing your music with us today on Young Artist Spotlight. So we started this program with your sister, violinist Claire Park, and we're going to bring Claire back on right now. Hey, Claire, welcome back. So now we get to hear the two of you playing together. Do you perform together a lot or mostly perform solo?
Most of the time it's solo, but sometimes we play duets like this.
All right. When you were both taking piano lessons, did you ever play piano duets, even simple four hands, one piano stuff?
Yes, I think we played piano duets a lot more than we play violin and viola duets.
Okay. So this piece is probably one of the most famous. It's among the most famous for this very specific duo combination of violin and viola. Claire, what can you tell us about this piece? What are we going to hear from you?
This piece has a lot of different episodes. You can hear both the melody from April and me, and we're basically conversing each other with the melodies. And there's also a sad middle part, but also it's mostly very energetic, and you can hear the sound very well.
And April, what's the name of the piece?
The name is Passacaglia.
Okay, Passacaglia for violin and viola. It's written by Johann Halverson, right? A celebrated Norwegian composer and conductor and violinist. And it's based on a theme from Handel, from the harpsichord suite in G minor. So what's the trickiest part of putting this together in duo performance?
I think it's mostly the conversation between us, because sometimes we disagree about like tempo and who should play louder. But I think at the end we mostly just agree, and then it's really easy to practice together since we always live in the same house.
Yeah, so that makes it good. Okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and listen now. Claire Park on violin, April Park on viola, performing music of Johann Halverson, based on a theme from Handel, the Passacaglia for violin and viola on Young Artist Spotlight. That was violist April Park and violinist Claire Park on Young Artist Spotlight, performing music of Norwegian composer Johann Halverson, based on a theme from Handel, the Passacaglia for violin and viola. Boy, that was wonderful. So great to hear the two of you playing together. April, what's the most fun part of that piece for you?
The most fun part is the fast runs and the idea that the viola can also have the melody sometimes.
All right. Yeah, because violins usually get all the limelight. So it's great that viola gets to have some of the fun as well. Now, both of you also have, for a few years, been part of Bakersfield Youth Symphony Orchestra, right? How long have you been involved in that, Claire?
We've been playing with that about 5 years.
Okay, very good. Now, you're on hold right now, of course, and have been for last year because of the pandemic. But is Bakersfield Youth Symphony Orchestra going to be doing things soon?
We're planning on getting back together this summer, and both Claire and I are planning on playing with the orchestra as the soloist either this year or next year.
Oh, excellent. Very good. Well, we'll certainly look forward to that. Claire, and I'll ask each of you this. Claire, what role do you see music playing in your life going forward?
I think it's gonna stay with me forever, because even if I go to college and even if I don't major in it, I think I'm gonna still participate in orchestras as much as I can.
And how about you, April?
I also plan on doing the same thing. I also want to participate in orchestras as an adult and do other music things.
Very, very good. Has this year of being isolated made you really, really miss playing in a big orchestra?
Yes.
Well, I hope for both of you that you're able to get back to Bakersfield Youth Symphony Orchestra this summer and get back to more orchestral playing. Thanks to both of you so much for joining us on Young Artist Spotlight today. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
For having us.
Well, that concludes another episode of Young Artist Spotlight. Thank you to our wonderful performers today, Claire Park and April Park. Thanks also to their private instructor, Becky Brooks. Special thanks to CMAC for video production. Support for Young Artist Spotlight comes from the Bonner Family Foundation and from the California Arts Council's Arts and Public Media Grant. For Valley Public Radio, I'm David Alves.